for everybody's benefit. Ayun. So, continuing on, my consultation hours are basically every weekday, 11 to 1 and 3 to 6 p.m. For this meeting, we will have an orientation and we have 4 agendas. So, first, we will talk about the course itself, the course calendar, the platforms that we will be using to do this this remote learning session. And lastly, we will be talking about some course policies and some extra reminders. So first, about the course, Physics 71.1 is designed to develop your basic skills in taking and reporting scientific observation and to give a better understanding of the concepts related to classical mechanics. So this Physics 71.1 course is just the first of a series of laboratory courses for students undertaking the Physics 70 series. Note that this lab course is only for people who are currently taking or have taken Physics 71. I will be requiring a proof of prerequisite, which I will discuss a little bit later in this orientation. So, more about the course, some specific objectives and outcomes are to develop your basic skills in taking and reporting scientific observations, valuing the role of direct observation in the development of theories and vice versa, develop collaborative learning skills, and gain an overall better understanding of classical mechanics. So what are the actual course materials that we will be working with? So we will have our requirements in the form of worksheets and a summary report. The worksheets, there are 6 in total, will consist 80% of your final grade. This is a sample worksheet. I think this is your first one. So you will be required to answer these questions as per your requirements in this course. The worksheet will comprise 2/3 of a data sheet that you will be using to fill Tagalog na nga. Teka. Itong mga data sheet natin, i-fill upan nyo to using the concepts in the course. So the last third naman ay mga questions that are generalized for the concept that is covered in one worksheet. One worksheet comprises 13.33% of your final grade. There are 6 in total. So we discussed the worksheets. Now for the summary report. The summary report is one for experiment 7. So the last experiment will not have a worksheet, but rather it will be a standard article that has a title, abstract, intro, results and discussion, conclusions in paragraph form. This will be 20% of your final grade. Now, itong rubric na ito, you don't need to worry about this now because we will be discussing this in more detail sa later in the semester. So, most of you are freshmen, but siguro ay familiar naman na kayo sa grading system ng UP. The highest grade that you can receive is 1.0 or 1, which corresponds to 92 to 100% of a final grade, followed by 125, 15, 175, etc. Pababa ito ng pababa. So, fading grades are 4 and 5. Well, 4 pala ay conditional pass. So now let us discuss our course calendar. So basically, the course calendar is our roadmap for the entire semester. So the course will be designed to be self-paced, so you can go through it at your own pace and at your own time. So this week, we will be dedicating the meeting to just an orientation, pero next week, and successive weeks after that, we will be discussing one experiment per week. So usually, the experiments will be discussed in synchronous meetings like this, pero note that they are optional, so you can not attend, you can attend if you want. I will be providing supplementary information, pero bulk ng learning ninyo, just like with your other courses, will be asynchronous. So yung course material in the form of the worksheets, usually enough naman siya para maintindihan niyo on your own yung course material. So we will be dedicating 1 week again to experiments 1, 2, and 3. Tapos after that, on October 22, sabay-sabay ang deadline ni experiments 1, 2, and 3. After that, experiment 4, i-discuss natin. And the week after that, may post-lab. So ang post-lab ay basically isang discussion na ako pag-perform about the answers to experiments 1, 2, and 3. After this post-lab, meron tayong reading break. So no meeting, nothing to do. And after this reading break, we will do it all over again. Yung sequence natin for experiments 5, 6, and 7, tig 1 week. Then 26 November, deadline ulit ng tatlong experiments na yun. Ni experiments 4, 5, and 6 pala. So for experiment 7, dahil iba yung kanyang requirement, summary report instead of just a worksheet, meron tayong writing workshop where I will discuss the rubric kanina in more detail. So paano isulat yan, mga ganon. Tapos writing period dedicated para magawa ninyo ang requirement na yan. And lastly, yung last meeting natin will be a post-lab on the last set of experiments which will be held before Christmas break. So ideally, by 2022, wala na tayong meeting at tapos na tayo sa 71.1. So let's discuss the experiments. Well, not in detail since we will be covering that in the next weeks, but our first experiment will be on measurements, uncertainty, and deviation. The second one on measuring devices. The third is on free fall. The fourth is on projectile motion. The fifth is on rotation. The sixth is on buoyancy. And lastly, the seventh will be on a simple pendulum. So we will be discussing the specific objectives and in more detail during the weeks dedicated to these experiments. So next, platforms to use. So we have various platforms online that we can use to communicate with each other. First, email. You can email me. Second, you can join the Discord server. I think most of you have already joined. Kapag may hindi pa naka-join, please inform me para bigyan ko kayo ng invite link. And lastly, i-upload ko sa YouTube ang mga synchronous sessions natin for the benefit of those na wala sa class or halimbawa kung gusto ninyong balik-balikan, may hindi kayo maintindihan. So balik tayo sa Discord server pala. I forgot to mention, sa Discord server, there are various channels there na you can use to explore. And you can also use that to consult with me. Pag may nalalabuan kayong some parts sa course materials ninyo para makapag-usap tayo na maayos, you can consult with me during consultation hours. Or pwede rin kayo mag-post doon publicly para masagot din ng classmates nyo kung alam nila yung sagot. So before I continue, do you have any questions? Wala? Okay, so teka lang. Okay, next one is class netiquette. So kapag mag-i-email kayo sa akin, I would prefer na lagyan niyo ng ganitong bracket with a statement saying Physics 71.1 HIJ-3. Tapos whatever it is you want to ask. This is just para matrack ko agad kung saan class kayo galing at kung anong maitutulong ko sa inyo specifically. At para mas prepare ko sarili ko rin sa isasagot ko. So SMS or calls, if you will be doing this through these channels, please specify just your name and your subject section para, for the same reason as the email. Under extreme cases, as I explained earlier, okay lang naman tumawag kayo sa akin or ako tumawag sa inyo. We can arrange this under extreme circumstances. So sa Discord server, you can chat anything. May channel naman dedicated to off-topic. However, let's respect the designation of the text channels by sending appropriate content. So when do we send emails, SMS, Discord, DMs? Preferably, mag-send kayo during class period 1 to 3 and during the consultation hours I laid out. However, this does not mean na pag nag-message kayo sa akin sa labas ng time frame na ito ay hindi ko na kayo replyan. Outside the time frames I mentioned here, I can still answer you, but please expect a reasonable delay. I might not be able to attend to your concerns immediately. So other matters about your contact details, if there are any changes, please immediately inform me. And if you are having trouble with anything like your internet connection, cell phone, laptop, or pag nag-malfunction, just tell me. So some general guidelines. The course will consist of 7 experiments. Please read the course material thoroughly and submit the necessary requirements. So most of this is asynchronous nga. You do it on your own time. However, ang requirements na ito ay hindi individual. They will all be done by group. Question lang sa inyo, magkakakilala na ba kayo lahat? You can answer through chat or kahit sa mic. Wala? Hindi pa? Okay. No, okay. So, dahil dyan, hindi pa. Ako na lang mag-assign ng groupings ninyo. Is that okay? Para magkakilala kayo? Okay, so ipopost ko na lang sa Discord mamaya yung groupings ninyo. Kasi kailangan siya for the experiments. So, moving on. Total naman, nasa subject na tayo ng groupings. Hindi maiiwasan na may times na may hindi tumutulong sa grupo. In such cases, the group can expel a group member if the majority believes so 2 out of 3 ay mag-agree na hindi nagko-cooperate yung isa. In that case, the group member can be removed. So, yung pabigat na yon ay maging individual na lang yung requirement niya. Tapos number 5, there will be at least 1 scheduled online consultation per week. This online consultation will also be our synchronous session. So yung Thursday 1 to 3, online consultation na rin yun. So students can consult their instructor about experiments, writing papers, and other matters. It's not required, just like with you attending the successive class sessions, but it's highly recommended. Yung consultations din, scheduled online consultation, pero yun nga, you can message me if you need anything outside of the scheduled time. So let's talk about the summary report. So basically, the summary report, which is your last requirement for the semester, will consist of a title, abstract, intro, results, and discussion, and conclusion. It's typewritten, A4 size paper, Times New Roman 11. So you don't have to worry so much about the template or format of the paper kasi sa course materials ninyo, which is at UVLE and your Google Drive, if you are able to access it, ay meron namang template. So basically, nandun na yung set na font size, set na borders, etc., paper size, etc., para magsusulat lang talaga kayo ng summary report ninyo. Kapag nagkaroon ng malaking problema, for example, yun nga, internet or electronic issues, handwritten summary reports are accepted provided that your scanned copies are legible. So number 7, please do not exceed 3 pages when writing these summary reports. The overall score will be deducted by 25% of the maximum grade to be given for every excessive page. Again, you may refer to the summary report guidelines found in the course pack for your guide in writing your summary reports. But during the writing workshop, that's also the same material that I will be referring to as well. So related to that, consultation beyond the writing workshop is optional. So okay lang naman sa akin yan. Wag niyo nang pansinin itong upon the discretion of the instructor. Basta okay lang sa akin yan. So number 10, it's highly recommended when you're working as a group that when you do the summary report, merong isang dedicated group editor para coherent ang lahat ng thoughts na ilalagay ninyo sa inyong paper. And this is very important. Please do not plagiarize and cite your sources. Any form of plagiarism is subject to disciplinary action by the university and not just this class. So regarding submissions and deadlines, the quiz module, which is just your whatever the course is at UVLE, will require answers to be submitted in UVLE, yung mga worksheets ninyo. Summary reports, sample calculations, and figures must be uploaded in the submission module. Parehas lang ito, as far as I am aware, parehas lang itong dalawang to. So worksheets, summary reports submitted after the deadline will automatically receive a grade of 0. But in special cases, pwedeng i-appeal kapag may reason naman. Pwedeng i-appeal lang extension ng deadlines. Maximum tolerance naman tayo ngayong online natin ginagawa ang buong course na ito. So number 15, since nasa grupo naman kayo, enumerate the list of contributions done by each group member. Kapag for some reason walang contribution yung isang group member and hindi siya natanggal sa group, di na lang siya bibigyan ng grade for the specific requirements. So dropping, a grade of drop can be given upon the initiative of the student. The deadline for filing a grade of drop, should you want one, is November 29. And if you want to file a leave of absence for some reason, the deadline will be December 9. And similarly, drop din ang magiging grade ninyo. So yung course natin will follow a no-fail policy due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Simply put, di kayo makakuha ng 4 or 5 sa semester na ito. So these are actually university mandates ngayong may COVID-19 pandemic tayo. This flowchart here shows the basic logic that we will be following kung anong grade ang makukuha ninyo. Basically, kung nakapag-submit kayo ng lahat ng requirements at magandang standing ninyo, edi may grade kayo. So in the case na wala kayong or hindi kompleto pero hindi kayo nag-communicate, drop ang makukuha ninyo. Tapos kapag hindi kayo nag-communicate sa amin at failing ang grade niyo, drop pa din. At meron din tayong incomplete na grade kapag hindi complete ang requirements ninyo at prefer ninyong INC makuha ninyo. You can also prefer a numerical grade if you want, but this will be better kasi kapag incomplete kayo, by standard UP rules, you will be given 1 year to complete that requirement. And if you do, you get a numerical grade. But if you do not, you have to take the course again. So on academic dishonesty, so university rules apply for cheating. Ang cheating could be in the form of plagiarism and fabrication of experimental data and results. And in this case, ang cheating ay subject to disciplinary action, which may be in the form of suspension for a minimum of 2 months up to expulsion. So ang college or university magpa-file ng case against students who do this. So this is a very delicate matter. So I advise you to please be original in your works para maiwasan ng ganitong kalaking trouble. So some other reminders. Note that the course pack is intended for your use only, and please do not distribute it or sell it to anyone else. Please only use it for what it is intended for, which is your asynchronous studies. So just as a reminder, at the end of your worksheets, please write the following and affix your signature. I, your name, swear upon my honor, blah, blah, blah. So nasa course guide lang naman ito. Pwede nyo naman kopyahin na lang yan dun sa course guide and just affix it to your worksheets. So some other reminders. hindi pa nakapag-submit ng lahat sa UVLE, please submit a proof of co-requisite that you are enrolled in Physics 71 this semester. Please submit this proof of co-requisite, which can be anything like ranging from your Form 5 to just a CRS screenshot of your schedule. Please submit them at UVLE before tomorrow. If you can't find this course at UVLE, you can self-enroll. Just tell me through email, Discord, or anywhere para mabigyan ko kayo ng enrollment key so you can self-enroll the course. So that's all for the orientation. So may mga tanong ba kayo? Wala? Okay. So next, let's move on to our Discord server. Teka lang. Stop share muna. Open natin. Share. So ito yung Discord server natin. Kita nyo naman. Is there any one of you that hasn't joined the Discord server yet? Kasi in that case, paste ko dito yung Discord link. Invite link, click nyo lang yan para makasali kayo dun sa Discord server na. So to those of you that have liked this message of our house rules, marami tayong channels dito dedicated for your benefits sa course. So we have your off-topic channels. Bahala na kayo. Pwede na mag-post ng kahit ano dito. You have your text channel resources. I'll be uploading our course materials here. So nandito na yung course guide so far. Announcements. Ayun, meron naman so far. Session recordings. I will be uploading our synchronous sessions here, including itong orientation na ito. So ito mga consultation rooms. Kung gusto niyo makipag-usap sa akin, itong voice channel for classroom, this is a backup channel just in case magka-problema tayo sa Zoom. Tapos, itong bawat text channel na ito, for each of your experiments, pwede kayong magtanong dito ng mga relevant things that either I or your fellow classmates can answer freely. Ayun, may dedicated channels tayo for each experiment. So, para madali buhay natin lahat at makapag-scroll back kayo ng mga nalalabuan kayo kung sakali man, post nyo yung appropriate na question sa experiment na relevant. Okay, so I think that concludes our orientation.